Bottom of the hour now, top of the news, and Donald Trump is a national disgrace and an international pariah. So says Colin Powell. But the Republican former Secretary of State does some Clinton bashing as well. How do we know? Hackers got him. A group called DC Leaks released to BuzzFeed Powell's emails, and Powell's team confirms he wrote them. The U.S. security officials have suggested that DC Leaks may be tied to Russian intelligence services. In one of these messages, Colin Powell wrote that he tried to convince Hillary Clinton and her staff to leave him out of the controversy over emails. Quoting here, "I have told Hillary minions repeatedly that they are making a mistake trying to drag me in, yet they still try." Powell served in both Bush administrations, then twice endorsed President Obama. He's endorsed nobody this year, which kind of makes sense, as emails make it clear he's not a fan of either. And that Benghazi investigation, Powell says that was a stupid witch hunt. And when he says Ambassador Stevens, who died in the raid, was courageous yet mostly to blame, and that others back home shared responsibility, the former Secretary of State Condi Rice totally agreed, as she put it. And on top of that, Powell says General Michael Flynn, who's Trump's top military advisor, is right-wing nutty. Trace Gallagher is live with more. What else you got in these emails, Trace?
Well, Shep, there's a lot more pushback from Colin Powell concerning what he calls Hillary Clinton's attempt to blame him for her email scandal. Powell writes, quoting here, "I told her staff 3 times not to try that gambit. I had to throw a mini tantrum at a Hamptons party to get their attention. She keeps tripping into these character minefields." Powell says he made it clear to Mrs. Clinton that he never set up a private server while he was Secretary of State and that he always used a government computer for classified documents. Quoting again, "They are going to blank up the legitimate and necessary use of emails with friggin' record rules. Everything HRC touches, she kind of screws up with hubris." As for Donald Trump, earlier this summer, Powell wrote to a journalist that Trump, quote, "is in the process of destroying himself. No need for the Dems to attack him." And later to another reporter, Powell wrote about his aversion to giving Trump more media, quote, "You guys are playing his game. You are his oxygen." Later writing, "To go on and call him an idiot just emboldens him." Powell also called Trump a racist for his birther comments against President Obama. Shep.
And some emails about Secretary Clinton's health?
Yeah, it was an email conversation with Democratic mega donor Jeffrey Leeds. Colin Powell writes, quoting again, "On HDTV, she doesn't look good. She's working herself to death. She will turn 70 her first year in office." Jeffrey Leeds responds by saying that Rhode Island Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is a huge Clinton supporter, but Leeds says White House told him that he and Clinton gave, quote, "speeches at the same event a few months back, and she could barely climb the podium steps." In another email to Leeds, Powell calls Hillary a friend he respects but would rather not vote for, quoting again, "a 70-year-old person with a long track record, unbridled ambition, greedy, not transformational, with a husband still blanking bimbos at home." Neither the Clinton nor Trump campaigns have responded to our calls for comment. Shep.
Blanking bimbos. Thank you, Trace.